I was watching the Japanese station this morning, which I do kind of every day, and they did some interesting things on alternative medicine. And one of the topics was depression and nutrition. And they seem to be doing a study on a correlation between poor nutrition and depression. And the understanding was if we can change your diet, change your nutritional values, or what you're intaking, you can decrease your depressional tendencies. And I thought it was really interesting because when you look at food and you look at diet, there are certain foods which we always talk about. We talk about sugar, we talk about carbohydrates, starches that kind of have an effect on the brain. When you also look at some of the illnesses that are related to poor nutrition, it kind of I could see a correlation between poor nutrition and depression. But I found that in this particular study they were doing, this particular lady, she had high blood pressure. She was considered obese, 32% over her ideal body weight. I say everybody's obese, but and she, again she was a diabetic. So what they did was, and she was depressed. So what they did was they did a study and they started changing her diet. They started doing substitutions of things that she could add in her diet. Less sugars, mainly less sweets, less sodas, less things in her diet, and it improved her depression. I mean, it didn't transform her immediately. It took time as she lost weight, as she got more into exercise and making substitution. She became more empowered and less depressed. And I don't know if anybody else has really done a study or if you've ever done it on yourself and you figured that, because sometimes you eat things, you feel sluggish, you feel tired, you feel carbohydrates, potatoes, some of those heavy foods, they have a tendency of kind of making you feel kind of dragging you down. But I thought it was really a good study. And again, I like watching some of the alternative stations and alternative medicines they have out there to help with your overall health. And I thought this was really good. And I think, of course, more study needs to be done. But I just want you, if you have depressional tendencies, and again, getting away from big pharma pills, you know what they want to do. They want to give you one pill makes you big, one pill makes you small. You might want to just try changing your diet. I always say the same thing, a little bit off the subject of autism and stuff like that. Diet plays a big role in our health, our lifestyle, and everything else. And I don't think that we have gotten away from working at it and we want an easy fix. So if you were suffering depression or you know somebody who's suffering depression, why not start looking at some of the things in your diet? Why not start replacing and see if that helps with the depression? Or if it's you, cut back on some of the sugars, cut back on carbohydrates, cut back on alcohol, cut back on some of these things in your diet and start incorporating more fruits and vegetables or things they say are healthy for you and see if that changes your depression. Again, I think that we have the natural ability to cure ourselves for many of these things if we just take the time to use it, and it's not a quick fix. Anyhow, just throwing it out there. Please like and subscribe and give me some ideas of what we can do for our natural health. Thank you.